Okay guys, so let's begin today. So we are going to talk about the Terraform, which is called infrastructure as a code, right? You would have heard much about infrastructure code nowadays, right? Most of the time if you're talking to people, they will talk about infrastructure as a code. What is this infrastructure as a code and why it is required, right? Most of the time you would have seen, right? You are creating infrastructure, right? Let's say if you are getting multiple projects, right? And let's say you have multiple clients and you have to deliver the same kind of solution and somewhat different kind of solutions to everyone. So how much time you take to provision those all things, right? If I ask you to create one network, some security, so security group and everything, it takes lots of time, lots of effort to create the things manually, right? If I talk about AWS infrastructure, I talk about Google Cloud, I talk about VMware, anything it is, right? So whenever you are creating anything, any infrastructure, any design, right, you're provisioning your all the resources accordingly, it is taking much time, right? Here the infrastructure as a code comes in place, right? You don't have to do manually, you have to write your script once, right? Once you have done with those scripts, right, what you need to do is you just need to run those script will provision the environment for you, right? Even if you want to use those script in the for the next environment, what just you need to do is you just need to replace your variables, you have to just change few names and you are all done, right? So it takes very less time, right? It takes time while you are doing it first time, but next time if you are implementing such a same kind of projects, so that becomes very easy for you to create the infrastructure within a snip of fingers, right? चुटकियों में आप क्या करोगे, एक अपना environment खड़ा कर लोगे, right? Even if you want to delete that, if you want to update that, everything you can do in snap of finger. If you have already provisioned an infrastructure, if you want to change something, you can quickly do it. You don't need to write, do so many things. Just write one Terraform script and quickly go ahead and update it, right? This is how the Terraform works, right? So HashiCorp is the organization which is basically managing the you can say Terraform. So HashiCorp will has all the things, right? For all the clouds it will has components, like either you are going to use Terraform for AWS, Google Cloud, any of the cloud, or even in-house infrastructure if you have. So you can get all the scripts from terraform.io. This is the one-stop site for Terraform, right? Whatever you need, you just need to think of that, right, and go ahead and use those things. So how you can get started with those things, everything we have, if you see here, couple of clouds: Azure, AWS, Google Cloud, VMware, Alibaba Cloud, Oracle Cloud, Google Cloud, Datadog, plus 200 more services where you can use this infrastructure as a code, right? You can directly go to the docs home here, right? Even Terraform action, some registries, you can get all the documents from here. So in the index.html you will see most of the documentation related to the Terraform. So that's, I think, a bit heavier. Okay, so now guys, you can see here all the grocery shop is here for you. Introduction to Terraform, Terraform glossary, Terraform CLI, Terraform cloud, everything you have here, right? So you can simply go here in the in these sections. You can get Terraform cloud, couple of things you'll get it from here, right? But if you are looking any of the documentation for related to the Terraform, what you have to do, simply just go to Google, right? Just type in here Terraform AWS, right? So just come down now, it will take you to the provider AWS itself, in the same way for a Google Cloud and others. So let's go here now. if you can start seeing the AWS guide here, right? If you see at the left hand side, AWS provided versions, right? Custom service endpoints, resources, everything, right? You know, provide data sources, AWS ARN, reasons, billing service count, so many things would be there. Whatever you wants to create, it would be available for you, right? In the developer perspective, from app mesh perspective, auto scaling perspective, each and everything you will be getting from here, all these scripts here, right? So I'll not make you much confused first. So here at the left hand side you can see everything. Let's say you want to create these EC2 instances, right? What all things you need here, you can come here. If you need to create AMI, you know, if you need to create snapshot, if you need to create volumes, attach volumes, each and everything you'll get it from here itself, right? If you need to create instances, you can click on create AWS instances first, and it will tell you how you can create the instances, right? It will give you some example here how you can create the instance, right? Next, if you come down, it will give you the argument, what all argument you can do here, right? What all thing you can change here. Each and every argument will be available here for you, right? So we will see these things. So let's jump on first how we can start with the Terraform. We'll talk about these things, you know, in a couple of minutes again. So let's go first and see how to install Terraform. I'll call it install Terraform in Linux. It gives you for the all the environment. Even you can install it in the Windows environment and set home. Right, so if you go here, it shows you how you can install the Terraform, Maroon installation, at Homebrew OS X installation, and Chocolatey on Windows. So what you need, you can go here and find the version and install it, right? So what we need is, we need the installer first. So let's go to the install Terraform section. Click here for appropriate binary that we need. This is the manual installation that we need. So here you can see it says, you know, below are the available download for latest version of Terraform. This please download the proper package for your operating system and architecture. So as per your OS and architecture, check the package. Here we have a Mac, FreeBSD, Linux, OpenBSD, Solaris, and Windows, right? If you have 32 60-bit version, you can take it accordingly. So we need for a Linux, so just take the 64 version, copy the link location and click, otherwise click on this here on the 64-bit version. It will start it downloading, right? So let's go ahead and do wget. Let me change the appearance here quickly. Right, so let's go ahead and do wget and put this URL. It will download a Terraform tar file for you, right? So what you can do is, you can do unzip this, unzip. If you don't have unzip, then you can install it, right? As soon as you do unzip it, you get one script here, Terraform, right? What simply you need to do is, you know, if you want to run it from here, it will run here /Terraform. You can run it from here itself, but what I want every user to run it, or from anywhere I want to run the command, I should run it. So I will move this to Terraform user bin local, sorry, user local bin, right? Now I do have this script, so wherever I go, I would be able to run the Terraform, right? So that's it. This is the easy installation of Terraform, right? So next what we need to do is, I will create one folder here, let's say test, and we'll start putting my Terraform scripts here, right? So whenever we are starting with anything here for the getting started with Terraform, so first thing what you need, how you will connect with this AWS management console, right? So for this we have a provider. That means if you are using any of the you can say cloud, either if you work here and you start working for AWS, right, then you will be able to use the Terraform for all the cloud infrastructures, right? So first what we need, guys, is after we have done with the installation, the Terraform will work, right? And you will need first is a provider. Who is the provider exactly? Is this Google, is this AWS, or some Azure, or some other cloud providers with whom we are going to work? So first what we need to do is we will need to do Terraform AWS provider. Just remember this. So for everything we'll have a provider. Either this is Google, either this is, you can say, any cloud, or this is VMware. You'll have to provide the provider here, and you will get the examples easily. The good thing about Azure is you'll have to think about this, right? If you come here, you can see the provider file is there, right? Provider is it is saying provider is AWS. It may be Google Cloud, it may be some other cloud, or VMware. You can even variabilize it. How you can variabilize it? It has, you can directly export these here, or even you can save these credential in some file like this, in some file, and you can call them as a variable. I'll tell you how to do that as well, right? The first thing we need to learn, guys, is about the provider, right? And I have copied this here. That's what you have to do, right? More of the time you'll have to rely on this HashiCorp site, which is called the Terraform IO, and each and every document you'll be getting it from here. That's what I initially said. Everything is in your hand here, right? Doing practice is in your hand, because I will be able to guide you, but how much you are learning and how much you are practicing, that's up to you. So now I have created one file which is called the provider.tf, and I need two things here. I need the reason. I said provider is AWS. It could be anything, Google or anything. So we have AWS here. We have reason, we have access key and secret key. So how we can get it, right? You can create it for the normal user, and I'm just taking it for a root user here. You can go to security credential. Right, you can go to access keys here. You can just delete the older one if not needed. I don't need them, that's fine. Just delete them. I'll go ahead and create new access key here. So I will click on show key here, and I will copy the access ID itself from here. Right, go here. Says the first is access ID, right, and access key is this, right, and the second one is a secret key, right? Just copy the secret key, okay, just save it, right? The first, once you have created provider, right, what you need to do, guys, you need to initialize the Terraform first. You need to do Terraform init first. So what it will do is it will start downloading all the required plugin we need for AWS. Now if you see here, it initializing provider plugin, it is checking for available provider plugin. Either this is Google, either this is AWS, Azure, Alibaba, so on and so forth. It is downloading the plugin for provider AWS that we have specified in the file, and this is the version, right? And it says the provider do not have any version constraints in configuration, so latest version was installed, right? And the version is this. Now if you do here ls-ltr, you will not see anything. If you do ls-la, guys, you will see the .terraform file would be here, where you can see some libraries, binaries, and whatsoever plugin we need, right? All the plugins would be available here for us in this folder here, right? These are the plugins here, right? And this is the JSON format, which is the log file here, right? Most of the time you'll not need to see that. Right now we are done with the provider. Right now we know that we are able to log into that specific environment, let's say in that specific area. Let's say I'll close this quickly and let me go back once, and let me specify the region also, in which region I want to create my resources. So let's say US East 1 I would take here, guys, right? Provider.tf, I will call it, the region will be US East 1. Right, I'll go ahead and save it. Right, so we are done with the region. We have created provider. So first task for us to, guys, to create something that we need, right? So we have given US East 1, we are good. So US East 1 is the North Virginia. My all the resources would be created in the North Virginia itself. So the next what we need to do, right? So let's create one VPC first. Let's say I will call it create VPC AWS Terraform. So never, most of the time you will get everything from HashiCorp, because each and everything is already created for you. You just have to use the template and use them smartly, right? You'll see the example here, right? This is the basic example that you want to use, right? Let's say I will call it vpc.tf here. All the file in the Terraform will save in the TF extension, right? So what I have done here, guys, is I have created one TF file, and let's give the same let's give the same configuration here, right? Some advanced option are here. You can use this advanced option here also. Let's say if you want to change the tenancy, it by default it will do this shared tenancy. If you want the tenancy should be dedicated and you want to give some tags to it also, so you can use this block here. But the basic uses would be here. And if you want to add some more uses, right, if you want to change something, tenancy is by default optional, it says. But if you want to enable DNS, host name, right, any other option, right, all the attributes you will get from here. So for example, let's take this with the tag, because this will not give any tag to our a VPC. So I want one tag should be attached with this too. So we'll quickly delete it and we'll quickly paste this, right? So now what I do here, I do Terraform plan first, right? So whatever you do in the Terraform, you just check it with the plan, right? When you hit with the plan, it will show you what things will happen, right? You can check here if something is failing, it will tell you. Then later on you can apply it. When you think, yes, I want such kind of things only, that's going well, go ahead and apply it. So I do here plan. It says there is some issue. It says the duplicate resource AWS VPC configuration. Okay, I will call it vpc.tf. Okay, let me copy this here. So I am going with the default thing here, right? I'm not changing anything. So let's do your plan. It says resource AWS main. Source name main was already declared at the TF. Okay. Let's do some name to it, like I will give one, I will change it to AWS class. Let's plan it. It's not taking main. Say I'll take it as a test. So it seems like there was something already there. It says the reason where AWS operation will take example this. It should not ask initially, so let's do Terraform init again. So let's do plan again. US East 1, let's say. It says no valid credential source found in the AWS provider. Is that true? Let me see the provider.tf ones. I think I killed it. That's my bad. I think I put the same configuration in by mistake. I overridden this. That's my bad. I'll have to redo that. Right. So let me empty this provider.conf first. Let me, I can say add this provider.tf ones. Okay, that's what I killed, man. That's what it was having issue. So let me take the provider again, the block of code. So here we go. Get the block of this code, provider.tf. So let's get that credential file now. Okay, here I go. Let me copy this quickly. Okay, here we go. That was the issue, right? Now we have two things here. The first is provider, which is telling where we have to create our resources, what are our credential, and the second one is we are just creating one VPC here, and the VPC name is main, and the tag would be the name also here. So let's go ahead and do a quick Terraform init again. Let's plan it now. Right, in plan it will show what happened here. Right, it says there is one plan, right, 0 added yet, no changes yet, and 0 to destroy. We have nothing to destroy at this moment. So let's get up. Full call. Right. So here what is happening is we are going to create one aws._vpc.main, right, will be changed or will be created here, right? And what all things will happen, what all resources you have applied is, the resource name is AWS VPC and it is main. This is the resource, right? It is saying what you are going to do, and it says what all the policies or the tags you have applied. At this moment you have not applied any tag, except you have given the one block range here, and you have said this should be the dedicated VPC, right? We said okay. Now it says if you want this, go ahead and apply it. I said yes, I want it. Let's apply it. So it says one plan will be added. Yes, if you want this, go ahead and do yes. I say only yes will be accepted or approved. If you give anything, it will reject it, right? So I did hit enter here. So it says now AWS_VPC.main is being created. It says the VPC has been successfully created, right? One resource created, which has been added, 0 changed, 0 destroyed. So let's go ahead quickly and verify it now. Let's go to VPC. Right, jump on VPC section in North Virginia. Here you see, one VPC has been created successfully. I think Is it coming here? This is the default one, I guess.
Hello.
Yep.
Actually, sir, you write the different reason in the TR file provider.
uh, that's my bad. I think we went into the US West too. I forgot to change it. US West 2. It's Oregon. Yeah, thanks for catching this man quickly. So you can see the VPC main has been created here, right? Now we are good to create subnet on top of this. And what if you don't want it and you want to remove this, right? What you can go do is quickly you can do Terraform Destroy. So what it will do is so it will just take your consent. It says this is going to be refresh, this is going to be destroy. Do you want this? I say yes, I want it. And now see quickly, the resource has been deleted, right? The thing now again we need to understand. I will quickly open this vpc.tr, right? What exactly we are saying in this file? We are saying resource, right? What is the resource we want to create? We want to create a AWS VPC, and what is the name of that? Is main, right? In the same way, if you are going to create any other resources like EC2, there will have name resource AWS underscore EC2, right? Subnet, private subnet. So those will have the different resources that you need to understand. So what we are writing here, right? And inside the parenthesis, what you are doing is you are giving the blocks, right? You are giving the properties that we have in here, right? These are the argument references you are specifying. What block is needed, what all parameters you can specify, that we are writing here. So 99% of the time, you will easily get the blocks from here, and you can use it, as you can rename your resources as per your requirement.